First, I really like what they're doing at Indy. I feel for Ben because I feel like I'm looking at the mirror at last year. He got the benefit of being able to bring some players that played for him with him, which I just didn't have, obviously, that benefit. But you can see what they're doing and that it'll work. We dodged some bullets like the Matrix there in the second half because they just wear you down and you're so concerned about the physicality of their press that sometimes you let down, you don't guard as well as you should. And, I think another year with those guys or, some new incoming new guys, I think they'll make some of those shots. And I think they'll be a very dangerous team to guard. So I respect the hell out of how hard they play, how committed to that style it is. And I think, we had 16 turnovers. I thought we played well against the press and we had 16 turnovers. Some of them just dumb. And then, they're trapping on made baskets too, which is a missed baskets, which is the only person I've ever seen do that was the late Skip Prosser. I was at Notre Dame. We played against Xavier and they trapped on misses. And usually you can beat teams deep, but they do such a good job. They must drill it so much that there wasn't a lot of airspace and our guys couldn't see out of it. We had probably 3 turnovers that way. But all in all, we won because of our defense and obviously getting to the free throw line and just getting the ball in bounds and breaking their pressure and kind of wearing them down, then dodging those bullets. And this is a great game from Romel Bethea where he just changes things. It's no coincidence that they shot 31.9% from 2. But it's try to shoot over him. It's really hard. Like our guys are like, dude, I do not want to do that. And because of their personnel and how they play through Woodward, he can kind of roam the paint. And, it's something that we tried last time and it worked. And we went back to today. I thought Vuk did a good job doing that same thing in the first half with his size. And we just scored enough points to win. Again, second time we played them where I don't think Marcus played great offensively. I don't think Justin played great offensively. And yet we still won the game by 16 points. So proud of our group. It's finding a way.
When it comes to that full court press that they're running, does that type of situation make you better in the long run if you have to see that again?
Yeah, since we didn't do a good job against Robert Morris and we didn't do a good job against Milwaukee. I don't know if you guys noticed we changed inbounders some as well. That's all we've done the last couple of days is like figure out press break. We had a bunch of different ones that we wanted to run. And I did the football one. We had another football one I wanted to run, the ode to the Packers, little rub route. We had a mesh concept and a rub route, but we didn't get to the rub route, the mesh concept one. So, but yeah, it should prepare us because now we have literally like 15 different ways to get the ball in bounds. And that's all we've done. So if they don't get the ball in bounds, it's on them because nobody else in the league, despite the fact you have teams with better athletes, they drill it and do it so well. And they're smart. Like they got called obviously for a lot of fouls. They do foul a lot. That's part of why you got to have a lot of guys in that program. But they're smart where they play off you. And then when you go to make a move, they kind of grab you for a second and then you can't move. And then they get their hands up so they don't get a call foul. So it's very, very difficult game to officiate as well.
You mentioned Romel Bethea, but like from your perspective, how much is he turning into a basketball player, right? Like before the season, you said, okay, he just picked this up.
Yeah.
But now we're kind of seeing him transform into.
He's starting to get it.
Yeah.
Starting to get it. He gets a little lost and, their coverage, they were switching things and we're like, dude, you roll, get out of there. So he still gets a little lost offensively on what to do. He knows dunker which is great. Just stand down there and circle and he's getting better at that. And then set a ball screen. The other thing is like, we haven't let him yet, but he can actually really shoot. So that might be next year. Might be next year, but no, he's getting there. Just imagine it's your first real season of college basketball, like thrown into college basketball. Compare that to Preston Ringer. Played 5 years of college basketball, 4 years of high school basketball, grew up in a basketball household, and we're throwing all these lingo and jargon, then we have to stop and explain it. And so he's processing it pretty well. And, some of the mistakes he's made, he's making less often. He still needs to be stronger with the ball. He had 2 dunks, I think they lost because he didn't grab the ball strongly enough. But he's an unbelievable human being. This is not easy. He called me. He gets really bothered by when people tell his story and then they stop and they just put up his stats. He's like, it kind of makes me feel like a chump or something. And I go, Romel, why do you care? Like, who cares? Nobody else knows. Like, people can't, I'm glad you asked, because people can't conceptualize how hard that is to never play basketball. Right? Like, when was your first, like, I know a bunch of people who missed tonight's game because, like, well, my son had his first game or my daughter had her first practice or something like that, right? Like, mine was, I was 4 years old. It was Orange Olive Elementary. I remember where it was. Or no, excuse me, 6 years old. 6 years old, I moved to California. Orange Olive Elementary was my first real practice. I was super excited, right? That was 43, 44 years ago, right? So it's a lot of basketball that he doesn't have. So he's trying, and we're trying to like teach him to be a basketball player, not a robot. Go here, go there. But like, you come out of a timeout, you run a play, he's like, uh-oh, I forgot. Because he's thinking defensive coverage, who am I guarding, who's on the court. We're telling him all these different things. And he's kind of, sometimes there's a little short circuit there. But he's doing great.
Rudy could have 2 or 24. He's the most important guy in the floor.
No question. No question.
That was impressive.
No question. We're actually going to have Sue to get him another couple years.
Doesn't work. Don't do it.
Well, everybody else with Sue's and wins. So we'll make up some cockamamie excuse about something and get him another year. I mean, you go back to last game. What correlates with what happened? You go to the end of Robert Morris, right? He was cramping, right? He's incredibly important. I read somewhere, I could give a quick shout out to the Horizon Roundtable, right?
Yeah.
Horizon, what is it called? Horizon,
yeah.
Right? But they had their mid-season awards or something like that. And they had Marcus as like third team. Like, have you never watched us play this year? Because Marcus is a tremendous player. He's had an up and down year because it's a different role for him. Preston Rudiger is our MVP. CJ O'Hara has been our best player. Period. Stop. And CJ wasn't very good. I didn't think he was very good today. He was a plus 21, 14, 8, and 4. Like, what? So, but Rudy's, he's a hell of a basketball player. So we talked a little bit the last couple of weeks. We're like, I want you doing the staff, but I'm going to try and get him a job overseas too. Keep playing. I don't know. His body is just breaking down. Like, no knee sleeve today, but if you name a body part, he's probably injured it during my 2 years here. So
I don't know if trust is the right word, but I'll use it anyway. Are you trusting LeBron more on the court as the game
Yeah.
kind of comes?
Yeah, it also depends on the game.
Yeah.
But he's actually becoming everything I thought he would become. Okay. And what I thought was he's a tough, competitive kid. He wants the basketball to run a team. And he's a tremendous finisher, and then he's a rebounder. Like when I was trying to put together the roster, remember we had one that left that was an outstanding rebounder. But I didn't want to depend on one guy to rebound. We were such a bad rebounding team. I thought, okay, who's the best competitive, strong, rebounding, lead, downhill guard in junior college basketball? It was him. That's why I wanted him. So we're still not where he wants to be yet. There's still parts of his game that I know he wants to keep exploring and expanding, and we'll get there. But the big thing is like the sacrifice of ego of they're playing off you and not taking the bait and shooting the basketball, instead driving or getting us into stuff and playing without the basketball, going and getting the ball in tough situations, and then stepping up and making big free throws. I didn't like that he held on to the ball late in that last game because he had Caden ahead of him and they would have run out the clock, but he held on to it and made it. So that's good enough. He just has to learn, and he's really learning how to contain that competitiveness. Because in practice, it can get like to where him and Rudy are like want to go at each other's throats because they're both such incredible competitors. And we're trying to find ways to harness it and find lineups to play with him. And this is a game which, without him, I don't think we win either of these games, to be completely candid with you. If we have every other player, even Rudy, and we don't have LeBron Thomas, we don't beat IU Indy. No chance.
Are you encouraged? Like, I felt like going into this game, you guys were in an interesting spot. So, like 8-8, you're kind of got 15 games left heading in.
Am I encouraged?
No.
Kyle, have you seen us play?
Yeah.
We're a good team.
Yes.
We're like winning games. Like, yeah, we didn't play that well. Like, we won a game by double figures in league. We swept a team.
Right.
Like, yes, I'm incredibly encouraged.
Right. Were you encouraged by the guys that came out and like this could have been a trap game for them?
I thought we were sluggish to start,
Yeah.
but I did think that we bought in defensively.
Right.
I thought offensively we were a little sluggish. Felt a little heavy-legged, which is why Rudy's not here, because we had a plan in place. They're doing a rehab session now. They'll be in the pool, do all that stuff. It's just such a quick turnaround. So yeah, I mean, learning how to win is the first thing. Then learning how to handle winning is another thing. That's what you're getting at?
Yes.
Yes, I'm encouraged by that.
What do you learn about you? 9 and 8 right now.
About me?
Yeah. What do you learn
It's
about
funny. Josh Pastner is a really close friend of mine, and he's at Vegas, and Sonny just kicked the crap out of him. And so, just like he did to me last year he would check in. He was working in TV. I checked in with him like, "Hey, dude, first year, really hard." He lost his point guard for the year. I tried to tell him to take Cam Woods. He didn't. Cam Woods is at USC now. So he asked me, like, what was the one thing you learned the most from? And I was like, one thing? Like, come on, Josh. Like, you've done this before. It's not one thing. But I've learned that when I have the right staff, it's everything, right? And you guys know it from where you work. People around you are everything. And so we're so much better as a staff. We do scouting reports differently. Everybody does it. Jerry and Eric, they do the personnel, and then Keel and Andy do the defense, and then Carrie and I do the offense. But they all kind of work. They all literally work together, and then they go out to coffee and they talk about it and they game plan together. And then the grumpy old men get together and they talk about it and they come up with like a plan. And then sometimes I do my own thing, but I always have an unbelievable plan in place. And then we have an A and a B and a C if things go wrong. And then sometimes it goes to D because I sub too many guys that they don't want to, that they're like, we're subbing too many guys. So what am I learning about myself is that, again, my theory coming in was trust your instincts. And I'm trusting them more, but also the same idea, which is hire really good people and then let them do their job. Hire people who know what you don't know, and then let them do their job and trust them. And I trust these guys because they all put in the work. You would not believe how hard Kerry Rupp works. Unbelievable work ethic. So I'd say that philosophy works. And I'm learning how to understand time and score and timeouts, I think, a little bit better. I trust the guys. Some of the coaches think I trust them a little bit too much in terms of what we're running. Like, we didn't really run anything tonight just because we felt like you don't need it. You just need to spread them, space them, drive them, and then play basketball off of it. And really the game is won and lost if you can get the ball in bounds, and then you can guard them, take away 3-point shot, and take away layups. So trusting your instincts, trusting yourself, trusting the philosophy that if you hire good people, you trust them to do the things that you don't know to do, and then learn from them too. It's not like they just go do their thing and I don't pay attention to them. I think those things work. So one thing, and if you have more questions, that's great. My mom turns 80 tomorrow. It's pretty cool. So if this goes out, my mom watches all these on Facebook. So happy birthday, Mom. That was for Jane Gottlieb. My mom has made more meals for basketball players than maybe any woman ever. And it was usually broccoli, potatoes, and chicken before all of my games. Salad, broccoli, potatoes, chicken, every game. So I'll go home, maybe have some broccoli, potatoes, and chicken and salad for you, Mom.
There's the big one on Sunday, right?
Yeah, they're good.
They're up 20 right now on Milwaukee. There's a logjam up on top of the Horizon League right now. In your perspective, how big is Sunday's game?
Huge, huge. It's huge. We're above 500. We've won 3 conference games in a row. And this is calling all Green Bay. Football game 7, right? Packers win. Bears still suck. And then I need you to get to the Crest at 1:00. So, and if you'd be here Lombardi time, 12:45, that'd be nice. And show up and help us give them hell. We all have different scheduling philosophies. They've played 10 home games. This was our 6th, I think. 6th, right? They played a bunch in the non-conference. And they're a really confident bunch. They play very fast, even for NKU. And then they run that matchup zone, which is funky. I thought we had a good beat on it last year at their place. The officiating was atrocious last year there. And then here we just missed shots. We had a good beat on it. But they do a great job of, you don't know if they're man or they're in zone. And the first time you see it is really hard. It's kind of one of those things where everybody says, hey, you kind of want to play on the road first time you see it because it's hard to win. And then you got a better chance at home. But no, I mean, Darren's an excellent coach. He's put together a really good team. We know, they got some Wisconsin kids on that team. They'll be ready, I'm sure. But the challenge for them and for us is, getting ready physically and emotionally and mentally when you have 36 hours. And for us, again, it's like your question, Kyle, can you handle success? We're not good enough to act like we've done anything special. We're just winning home games, which is what you're supposed to do. But we need Green Bay fans. We need all those people, okay? Have a great night Saturday night. Enjoy the Packers win. I have zero doubt in Coach LaFleur and the Pack. Get enough guys healthy. Okay, I saw your report today. Who's healthy, who's not? Okay, who cares? Go out and beat the Bears. They're still the Bears. They can't act like they've been there before because they haven't, right? So Pack win and then come and let's celebrate it at the Crest. I prefer Lombardi time, 12:45, so that when NKU comes in, they're like, oh my God, this is a completely different environment, different program, different team than last year.